how you got to Oklahoma.
I love this story. I had a dream and I heard the voice of the Lord in the dream. And he says, stop telling yourself no. It's probably about 4 a.m. I woke up, I took out my journal, I wrote myself some notes, and then I went back to sleep. Next morning, I woke up, I opened the journal, I read the notes, and the number one item, because there were 5 items, the first one was home ownership. So stop telling yourself no, home ownership. Now, I did not see myself as qualifying for nothing, but I did not want to
Not listen.
stop. I did not want to tell myself no again, right? And I wanted to be like, Lord, I heard you. I don't necessarily know if this is even possible, but I heard you, and I do believe in the sound of your voice. So the only thing I knew to do was to call a realtor that I had met about 3 years earlier. I said, hey, girl, I got a word from the Lord, and I don't know if you remember me, but I think I need to, take some action. And she was like, girl, yeah, I remember you. She was like, you got a word from the Lord? Let's go. She says, don't worry about it. Let me work on the lender and let me work on all these other things. And I was like, okay, bet, right? So
Say less. I'm there.
so she started coming up with some properties, and she's like, are you coming in to take a look? And I was like, well, no. I was like, I got
That
some help
that
though.
that that's where we came in. Myself and my wife. Well, my family. My wife, my kids, a whole
Yes.
little pack, a little roster.
Full help.
We we ended up we actually got a call from my mother-in-law. I'm her son-in-law. My name's Justin. Hey everybody. She called us saying like, hey,
Well,
I might be moving down to Okie Oaks, so I need some help. So we ended up, what was the realtor's name? I forget her name. What was her name?
Her name was Miss Stacy, and
So
great.
she called her, and then my mother-in-law called us saying she needed some help. So we ended up looking at, I think, 4 properties. A property in Henrietta, a property in Oologah, a property in Claremore, and there was another one.
There was another one.
Big Cabin?
Big Cabin.
Big Cabin. Big Cabin. So if I remember correctly, Big Cabin was in the sticks. Like in the sticks.
Okay, now.
Like where she came from, suburban life.
Very good suburban life with a view of the mountains. The wonderful suburban life. I digress. But Big Cabin had that big ravine. You remember the big ravine? Now, that's me talking after I saw it from a video.
She saw it in the video. We were there in person. That ravine is not a ravine. It's a trench. Deep. Everything around. Well, it probably looked good when, like, when everything's growing, but we came when everything was dead. So it looked like the woods. I'm not a fan of the woods. I don't know if she is, but like I said, she came from suburbia. So this is like complete other side of the coin.
Okay, but I gotta be honest though. Now I made an offer on the woods, on Big Cabin. I kind of liked it. I thought, maybe we could put a gun range back there.
We definitely could have.
Maybe a little bridge and all of this stuff. I thought it'd be kind of cool. And
so obviously this one has dreams that shoot for the moon. Obviously. I'm not saying that they're not possible, but I mean, like, yo, off rip.
Okay, so here's the funny part. I'm imagining all of this stuff, but I'm not yet believing that I'm going to be able to, that God's going to bless me with anything. But I'm going through the motions, right? I'm going to take my glasses off to let you guys know. If I was so sure, if my faith was that sound that I knew it was going to happen, I should have been doing a lot more. But it wasn't that time. But God is that good. God is that faithful. Yep. So all you need is a little bitty faith. They be talking about the mustard seed thing. that.
Because the funny thing is, everything that she called out about the property that she wanted, if you were to see where she's at, literally everything she listed, she got, which is funny.
And we're going to talk about that. Now, there was another property in Ulaga. Ulaga was so cute. That's me watching it in suburbia in California on the video. And his wife, my daughter, I mean, she probably should have, worked for like some kind of, secret agency or something.
Oh, that's the house. Now I remember the house. Yeah.
You remember the video with the Channel 5 news?
So my wife is a undercover what are the PI? There you go, private investigator. She be looking. Funny thing about this house. When we went there, the first thing that I mentioned when we were driving up the property of the house was, hey, make sure you tell your mom about the trenches on the side of the road. Because it was a gravel road, like gravel dirt road. And it looked like it possibly flooded. Coming from Cali to Okotoks, it rained a lot here. So that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, hey, you might want to let her know, like, it might flood out. Funny thing is, she ended up going into the history books of the house. My wife, she ended up like looking up past news articles, and there was a particular video that showed this house, and the only reason we knew about that it was this house is because this house had a pitched red metal roof, so obvious, and it's at the top of a hill, so it was obviously the house. But the funny thing is, it was surrounded by water.
It was on an island. But I was already in negotiations. I was already talking to these people, right? The disclosures came out and said the house had never been flooded before, but the area had been flooded. There had been slight water damage. Slight. Okay. So then I go to try to get some numbers for homeowners insurance. And insurance companies know every claim they ever paid. They're like, at that address, we have paid a flood claim and blah, blah, blah. So guess what? That wasn't the one.
Yeah.
I was moving on to the next one. Now the realtor is like, you want to go north? You want to go south? And I was like, I don't really care, right? And I wasn't saying that because I'm nonchalant. I really was wanting God to choose for me, for God to take me to wherever he wanted me to be, right? So just picked another one on the list that fit the requirement. And that one was in Henrietta. Now, when y'all sent me, you guys went to that one, and you and your wife, my daughter, the realtor, everybody was showing me videos on that property. That was the one with the pond and the shop.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so this one in Henrietta, you said? This one was also in the state. I'm sorry, y'all. I have a bad memory with these houses because we went to one, I feel like, every week. So yeah. But this one was also in the sticks. Gravel road. You drove down it. This one, funny thing is, she's used to having neighbors. Front, left, right, neighbors all around her. This one, she ain't got nobody. At least not like when we were driving down it, I didn't see nobody. She was at the corner lot, nobody around her. But it did look good because this house had a lake. It had a pond. It had a solid shop, like workshop type deal on the other side of the house. And it had a back end side that butted up to her neighbor's property line. It was solid, but
price was right. Loved it. I mean, loved it. But it was on 10 acres, 10, right? The sellers own like the other like 60 around it, 60, 70 around it. I said, can I have 20 instead of 10? It was like, no, we only sell the 10. Now I was like, oh man, y'all tripping. And then Justin was like, and you don't got no neighbors. What are you gonna do out there all by yourself? That's not safe.
Look, it's not. Like, coming where she came from, having neighbors to no one, and we're not close. We live like we in Tulsa. We ain't close. So if something happened, it's on her, and like she not there yet.
Okay.
I say yet.
So didn't want to do a deal on the acreage. My son-in-law is telling me, it's not safe. So that deal kind of evaporates. Claremore Claremore was
solid.
it was
That one was
beautiful.
solid. Like,
It was beautiful.
okay, so the house she got now, if she would have taken the deal in Claremore, I was big for Claremore. Like, Claremore was solid. Nice flat land, open. Like, you could see from the house, you could see down the street. You could see everything. Like, there was no woods, no trees. It was nothing but flat land. And this house already had, it looked like it had stables on the right hand side of it. It looked like they trained horses there. So for me, it was perfect. Like, it was just solid. It even had a pool. So I was like, go for broke. Let's go for this one. But
All right. So what happened on that one was I made an offer. I said, hey, I like this house, and I've never even been to Claremore. Never been to Big Cabin. I've never been to Henrietta. I've never been to Oologah, and I've never been to Claremore.
yeah, we were the
Okay.
avatars.
Okay.
So
yeah. So I'm sitting in suburbia, in California, living my best life, saying, yeah, let's make an offer. Yeah, let's make an offer. Maybe we'll make an offer. How about an offer?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we won't accept. This is a problem. That is a problem. So in Claremore, I make an offer. And the seller at Claremore says, if you increase your offer by $10,000, we'll do this deal. And then I'm like, I ain't increasing my offer by $10,000. Let me pray about it. So I asked my realtor, can I have 24 hours to make up my mind? And I kid you not, she says, sure. I get on the internet, and the property that we have now is on the internet. I call my realtor and I say, hey, what about this property here? And then she says, you want to live there? And I was like, it meets my requirements. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's got a place to park my car. It's got an outbuilding. It's got some electricity on the property. It's got some land. I was like, so what is the problem? And she was like, well, that part of the state is maybe not where you want to go. And I was like, the whole state of Oklahoma is different for me. So it doesn't really matter to me. What you're talking about, I said, if it's meant for me, if it's a part of God's plan for me, that's exactly where I want to go. So I'm calling.
She says requirements. That's an understatement. Like I said, she had a list. She got everything she wanted and then some. And this property, one, I feel is perfect. But one, so coming from California, from us, it's about an hour to get here. But obviously Californians, an hour is nothing to us. It's easy work. Slight money, especially when there's no traffic. It's a smooth drive. It's solid.
Oh my God, it's great.
It's solid. I take this every day of the week. But yeah, like this property, it's dope.
All right, so the realtor's here, Justin's here, my daughter's here. Everybody's phone is making videos, talking to me on FaceTime and stuff, and I'm in suburbia, checking it all out. My granddaughters are walking the property with them, and I'm listening to them talk, right? And I'm watching what's happening, and my daughter is kind of, leading me in different things, right? She's like, and then Justin says in the video, approximately 45 seconds from a paved road. I was like, yes, okay, 45 seconds from a paved road. And then they park, they get out, and they're walking around, and the realtor who had said, are you sure you want to be here? She actually walked into the house.
She lost her mind. I don't know what it was about the property when she first saw it. Mind you, she didn't see it in person when she first made the comment, like, I don't know if this is where you want to be at. But then she got here, and then her mind went, pew. She loved it.
She was like, Tracy, okay, I get you. This is what you are looking for. Now, I do not want you guys to think that even at this point that I'm a real shopper, because in my head, I'm still not a real shopper. All I am is a real lover of the Lord trying to walk out my faith. So back in suburbia, I'm telling myself, self, don't get too in love with this house. Because if this is an exercise for God to see if you will walk out your faith and risk being embarrassed, if you will risk having your heart broken, you still got to walk it out. And I was like, I still got to walk it out.
Yep.
But guess what? Made an offer, got into some back and forth with the seller, told Claremore, thank you for the 24 hours, but no thanks. And after maybe 2 or 3 weeks of back and forth, we had a deal. And the realtor called me on my birthday. I'm in suburbia having ramen with my grandson who is visiting with me. And the seller is like, the seller's agent has told my agent they'll take the deal. And I'm like, oh, we're going to take the deal. I still don't know if it's going to work out.
About, I want to say, what was it, like 3 days later? Like about 3 days, right? 3-4 days? A week?
Before, well, for me to close? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that took a long time. Okay, so I had a closing date. I missed the first closing date.
Yep. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Y'all,
yeah.
I was like, oh.
I remember the process. Yeah, that process was not funny, but it was like you could see that she was getting tested a little bit because closing day happened. She didn't make that closing date. I think the second closing date came. She didn't make that one either.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, everything that you could possibly think of, from I can't take the money out of my 401k plan, to, well, maybe you can, to the air conditioner system is 23 years old. Mm-hmm. I want the seller to do something about that, to, mm-hmm. No, I'm not doing anything about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll give you some closing costs so you can do it yourself. Mm-hmm. To the husband that you haven't spoken to in a year needs to sign your paperwork. Oh, we can't close the loan. I mean, it's just like a constant, I mean, I'd be like, huh?
It was like a roller coaster of emotions with her. Like, because you could tell, because I would talk to her, I would try to, encourage her a little bit, just trying to reiterate, like, yo, if this is for you, if this is what's meant for you, can't nobody take it away from you. That, like, was literally my anthem that I kept saying to her, because she would call crying. But I had to keep reminding her, like, yo, if this is for you, can't nobody take it away from you. Can't the realtor can't take it. The person who's selling you from can't take it. The bank can't take it. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. If this is what God wants for you, then this is what He wants for you.
And I was stressed. I mean, that's probably putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, I realized that even if it didn't close, even if I didn't get the property, God was still God. God was still good. And just the exercise alone was enough to have me excited, because I haven't bought a piece of real estate, y'all, in probably 10 or 15 years. And in that 10 or 15 year time, I have helped so many other people get their own space. I got a few dollars. I'm helping somebody else with their down payment. I'm helping somebody else with their closing costs, right? I'm punishing myself because I made some bad decisions in my life. I made some bad financial decisions. And that's why that word, stop telling yourself no, was hitting me so hard. God is like, yeah, you made some bad decisions. Yeah, you let some people con you out some stuff. Yeah, all of that. But on your worst day, I'm still God. Mm-hmm. No matter how horrible you can be, Tracy, I'm still good. I still love you. You still my girl. I'm still rolling with you. Let me work.
I haven't left.
And maybe I should do a little 88. I don't even know how that goes. How that go, Joe?
I'm eating. We eating out here.
Yeah. All right. So, third closing date. I'm still in California. Mobile notary comes, paperwork signed. My husband is still at the time. He comes and signs, and then the deal closes, or the paperwork ends. The next day, paperwork's back in Oklahoma, and Justin has to go to the closing for me.
So I go to the closing for her. Basically, just at the closing is just making sure everything, all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, making sure everything's good to go. I want to say about 2 days later, I get a call from her realtor saying, come meet me at the nail salon. I got something for you. Now, mind you, she didn't tell me what she got. So I'm like, okay, now what? She had the keys for her. She didn't know that we had already gotten the keys. So my wife and I FaceTime her and dangle the keys like, we got it.
And when I saw the keys, I was still nervous, but I gave thanks. I mean, just my whole heart was just so thankful. And I don't want you guys to say I'm thankful because I got something. No,
I'm thankful because I'm still here.
that too, but I'm thankful because in spite of the mistakes I've made, the bad decisions, all of those things, God still loves me. I'm here to tell you God loves you too. No matter what you've done,
Amen.
no matter how you have regrets, he still loves you. He still wants to be good to you. And I ain't talking about like a little bitty kind of good. I'm talking about like Jubilee Acres kind of good.
There's a saying for that. God is good all the time.
And all the time, God is good. Pass the plate. When I'm wrong, my girlfriend, who happens to be an actor in Hollywood, she took time off so she can roll with me so we can bring some stuff out here. We pulled down the driveway.
And I was mowing her lawn.
Oh, it was so cute. We got out the car, and then my friend says, oh my God, we should call this Jubilee Acres. And if you guys know what Jubilee is, my whole spirit was crying. Jubilee is the time in the Bible when God says, and all of your debts shall be erased, and you shall make amends with your fellow man, and then you shall celebrate. Jubilee Acres, where prosperity is our portion. Thank you for joining our show this episode. We'll see him again soon.
Yeah,
we got tons to tell them.
The next episode, you'll figure out what we ended up finding on the property. That was fun. It was a learning curve.
My granddaughter, thank you, Emma. My producer says, like, comment, subscribe this video.
Yeah. See y'all next time.